my stepdad's dad, Pee-wee, Kerwin Phoenix Datha, died exactly 1 year after I awoke on 2020 on 3/13. He was the first one that, as I was working on figuring all this stuff out after my awakening, that suddenly he started speaking to me in spirit, where the things that he said to me, or whatever, hit the hardest with nothing. And he was the first person I wanted to go find and visit before he passed away, and I couldn't get there. And then to find out only a month or two ago, nobody told me. I didn't know he fucking died on March 13th. That's fucking weird. And how everything's connected. But if it's all connected, how? Especially if it's all connected to one image cut into heaven, and all that could be placed onto one person, or one person out of everyone would be the one that got left out as the son of none. I'm a fighter. I don't know about sob stories and shit like that. But then all this stuff is added up so hard that it seems like somebody would have to fucking lift me out. But then it double ties this. Oh, well, that destabilized the entire universe. Well, obviously, looking at the way shit's been going since this election, it couldn't hardly get any worse, right? All space and time has been tied to this one thing, but that, if anything, that's how this concept, whatever I represent, but only can represent it using all the information of creation. But here we are, humankind's been going on for 10,000 years or whatever. Then if everybody's been praying to this one guy, and then the one guy shows up, but they made sure to have all these books and everything and all this. Anybody could just show up and be like, all right, I don't know, start over. Here's the money. Just forget about all this for now. Here, throw all your shit, your computer, your phone, all this stuff, in a locker, and go buy a brand new phone, buy a brand new laptop, order the vehicle you want, with a camper or whatever, show up at the end of the month, and just fucking go. Just disappear. Just start all over for a while. Brand new. Because it's not like, well, the past is going to go away, but I already have it. There's no reason to get rid of it or destroy it, and it's already been taken and been granted. And find a new way to begin. Or who could be the one that would have the right to just show up at my doorstep? And how can we move forward with all this baggage? But it's not baggage. It's not extra. It's not excess. And where could my future go forward? Having to represent all of this without able to represent any of it, really. I'm just a regular guy. We're stuck with the stuff of Jesus and stuff with fucking Hitler and having to do with fucking Eagle on the Moon and just all this shit. The Aztecs, the fucking everything. It's too much. But how can I there's so much information I've had to take in. I don't even know where I could fucking begin to tell a new story. Or to begin. I'm cleaning my space. right now, I'm gonna get another cup of coffee. You know, normally I wake up at 6 in the morning, but lately I can't hardly get out of bed until afternoon. I'm so burnt out. And nothing seems to take me anywhere. I mean, really excited for no reason. But that's a good reason, right? I'm really frustrated. And I feel like the whole world is weighing on my shoulders. There ain't nothing I can do about it. I don't know how to create, to like manifest, like I want this person. So I'm gonna make all this stuff and try to draw them to me. I don't know how to do that. And I don't want to try to control somebody like that. Doesn't seem right. I don't want to push off something and try to run away. All I know how to be is me. Maybe barely, but that's all I know. That's a lot for anyone to take. And when most people have a hard time, and it's too easy for them to be themselves and not to even be able to see themselves. And I have to see everyone's self, apart from myself, and see this reflection. And not know, and just be frozen. And cut by my own light. Because of whatever magic is, and how I could even exist. But it must have been meant to be. We must have meant to have this conversation. Otherwise, why would we be having it? Yeah, I don't think I'm fucking that was super amazing, like, you know, some superstar or nothing. At the same time as I've never, before I woke, I never thought of myself as less or greater than anyone else. But it seemed like everyone around me is always between one and the other. Or at least the way they looked at me. And then since being stuck in that bus, now I'm always stuck between feeling powerful for no reason, or feeling pathetic and useless to do anything about it. And then anything I do, well, it doesn't really matter. Or matter just every little, like I wrote a text, okay, well now we're gonna reroute the entire collective based upon our code system and whatever, and that's gonna change everything, and so maybe you should delete that. Oh, maybe you should leave it up. Oh, maybe, what does it mean? What are they doing about it? It's miserable. It's all too much. That can be manipulated and bent. And it's better to be innocent, not know. And more or less. Physically, but obviously I need to quit smoking. As if, you know, at the same time, well, everybody needs to quit doing something. And smoking could be equivalent to driving your car. Look how much money that costs you every day. And how much time sitting on your ass and getting fat, and when you could have walked, or, you know. So if we enjoy doing something, enjoyment's worth it. Everything fills a place somehow. But driving a vehicle could be 10 times worse than an equivalent to smoking every day. Plus, you're polluting the environment way more than a fucking cigarette is, and it's probably worse for your health. Wow, look at how much you have to pay for insurance and how much that thing costs. And then, you know, just to be able to lug things from here to there. When most of the time, if you didn't have a car, you wouldn't go. And so, maybe make a better use of your life, but being able to just go and get it and come back It's easy to have nothing and think you got it all. As a mirror of my situation. But during COVID, I'd have to walk 2 miles into town and walk back out with whatever I could fit in my backpack each day. When I did have money, I eat on that shit for a month. If I really wanted to, I could make that shit stretch for 2 months. You know? And so appreciation and the value of things really kind of depends on perspective. And the value of, you know, well, $80 for that meal, shit. You know, I could smoke for almost 6 months cigarettes if I roll myself on that. And those are spent in one day for food that doesn't cost that much. And then it seems like, oh, well, so we just make money just so we can throw it away. And being separate from everyone while being connected to everyone. And going to war at the same time as being able to be at peace. It's like the place of no place, of all places, kind of like a metaphor of what I've explained about the zodiac, about what I've found my place in the universe has to do with, which is really undefinable, but I've tried to do the best I can. And what's all the extra flowery stuff for, and this and that? I mean, it's great and stuff, but at the same time, they made it so, oh, well, I'm just typing it in Gemini or whatever, and poof, look, I could have spent 2 weeks trying to create a graphic, not that good. That's a lot of wasted time. And so, like, the idea of, like, value. If it's just about us connecting as human beings, then it's best not to go overboard for it to be simple. And so today, hopefully, I'd like to make my first video for the channel. Ugly Duckling Tarot with Bro. Aside me, right? Because me has to do with the ego. That's Christ's name. That's the self's holding place. Tied to May the 1st. So let's just go bro, huh? Keep it simple. And the ugly duckling turns into a swan, so he's never understood by anyone's around him. Only to find out he's a totally different creature. But what does that matter, you know, right? When you look into nature and you can find that dogs raised together, a dog and a cat. Well, like sometimes the dog will act like the cat because it'll look up to the cat and think that that's its mom or what it's like. Or a duck and a cat, you know, or chicken and a salamander, you know, I don't know. So that's what's weird about the whole ugly duckling story, especially when they're both birds. Then how are they wired so differently, only to turn out differently when